Freddy is whack, too, by the way. Hot take. Freddy sucks. Welcome back to Dramatic Evaluation. In this video, I'm going to be ranking the Friday the 13th horror franchise movies individually. I'm doing this in the spirit of the fact that it's Friday the 13th coming up as I'm recording this, and when this is posted, it will have been Friday the 13th a couple days ago, or yesterday, or whatever. This is going to be a quick ranking. I'm not going to go super in depth on the plots and factor in all kinds of different stuff. I'm really mostly just factoring in nostalgia, which ones are my favorites, the ones I saw a bunch as a kid. When I was a kid, I used to watch every Friday the 13th. They used to have like movie marathons on TV and show a bunch of the movies, and there were just ones that I saw more than others. So that's definitely going to factor in to which ones I like the most. But I feel like the ones that I did see the most and did like the most are just the better ones also. But I don't know. We'll see what you guys think. And I'm going to be excluding the remake from 2009 because, I mean, that was pretty good. And also, like, if I included that one, it would just, it's not one of the originals. I don't feel like it belongs in this grouping. But also, like, it would just be the number one because it's newer and better. It's like a technically better movie, production value and all that stuff. And it's just, it was a decent story and everything too. So I definitely like that one. I'm also going to exclude Freddy vs. Jason because I just feel like that's a little bit outside of the main franchise, and Freddy is whack too, by the way. Hot take. Freddy sucks. Nightmare on Elm Street sucks. So cheeseball and stupid. Not into it. Don't like Freddy at all. It's just, he's cartoonish, ridiculous, and I'm not into it. So excluding those two keeps this to a nice clean 10, so I can use my top 10 drop. So here we go. Okay, number 10 on the list, part 10, Jason X. So dumb. Such a dumb movie. Jason in space, basically. It's like super in the future, 24 something. And it's just dumb. There's like a couple decent kills, but it's super cheesy. Not even like a good sci-fi movie, let alone the fact that it's just not the vibe of like taking place at Crystal Lake Camp like all the other movies do, essentially. So it's like its own thing almost. It was just lame. That movie sucks. Number 9, part 9, Jason Goes to Hell. This movie is atrocious acting, stupid plot. The story is stupid. It opens with like a sting operation to like lure Jason out into the woods. I don't even know how he's alive based on the ending of the last one, part 8. And there's like a SWAT team like there, like they gun him down and kill Jason, but his heart is still beating or survives like outside of his body. Take him to the coroner. He like jumps into the body of another. So suddenly he's like a body jumping entity that can take over like the body of people. It's so stupid. It's the stupidest one besides part 10, I would say. Number 8. Part 8. So far, 10, 9, 8, sequentially. Jason Takes Manhattan. This one is the one on the boat. And I say it's the one on the boat because while they do go to New York and it's titled Jason Takes Manhattan, the majority of this movie is on a boat. It takes place on a boat, not in New York. So it's like a class trip, like kids going to New York. They're on a boat. Somehow the boat is connected, or the lake is connected to the ocean, like Crystal Lake. So somehow they're able to leave and go to New York through the Crystal Lake somehow. There's a couple decent kills in here. Like there's a cool sauna kill with like a stone, like a hot rock. I'm pretty sure they do that in Toxic Avenger or some other movie in the 80s. I think it's that one. But then there's a really fun kill where there's this one guy who's like a boxer. Set up in the beginning with him boxing, and then he like boxes Jason. He's just like punching Jason in the mask a bunch of times, and then Jason just punches his head straight off his body, and it's pretty hilarious. And then they get to New York, they're running around, and then they drown Jason in the sewer. It's, you know, it was okay, but I definitely saw that one multiple times on TV back in the day, but it's, you know, not that great. Number 7, part 6, Jason Lives. This is an older Tommy from the Tommy arc. There's 3 movies, I think, with this character, Tommy. This, I think, is the worst one, where he's the oldest. It's just kind of random. Tommy goes and digs up Jason, like lightning strikes and like awakens Jason through lightning somehow. Not that many great kills in this one. The plot's kind of like whatever. And yeah, I don't know. At the end, Tommy kills Jason. That sequence is kind of cool, and he like kills him by chaining him up and like drowning him in the lake. So he's like held underwater by these chains, which kind of sets it up for the next movie. But yeah, overall, it's whatever. It's not that good. Number 6, part 3, and part 1, 2, and 3. I don't think have names. There's just part 1, part 2, and part 3. Or part 1 is just Friday the 13th. But anyway, part 3, Jason finally gets the mask in this one. So the first 2 movies, he doesn't even have the mask. He gets it in part 3 from this super annoying character, Shelly, this guy who constantly is doing pranks, like putting on makeup, making it look like he's gotten killed, but then he's like, oh, it's a prank. And then it's a Boy Who Cried Wolf thing where later he does get killed and they like don't believe him and he's like dying and he dies. But yeah, he tries to prank a girl with the mask on, and then later Jason grabs that mask, and that's the birth of him wearing the mask in all of these movies. Yeah, there's, you know, some decent kills in this one, but mostly it's kind of annoying because of that Shelly character, honestly. Number 5, part 1, the original movie. Just a classic slasher, kids at a camp, counselors, I think, at a camp. Kevin Bacon's in that, which is pretty cool. I like Kevin Bacon a lot, for sure. This one is weird with the point of view of the killer. Like, you don't see the killer killing people. You see it through the point of view of the killer. So that was a little annoying, but whatever. It's also interesting, and especially at the time, it was kind of a unique way to show like kills in a horror movie. And then it turns out that it's his mom, not Jason, at the end. So that's the whole thing. The first movie, it's not even Jason, it's the mom. So that's whatever. Number 4 is going to be part 2. This is with Baghead Jason, where he doesn't have the mask yet, and he's wearing like a bag on his head with a cutout hole for his eye. Decent slasher, some good kills in here. The final girl pulls a clever little trick at the end, wearing the mom's sweater. She finds the shrine to the mom that he has, and puts the sweater on, and he's kind of like hung up for a moment, like confused. Is that my mom? And then provides enough time for the other dude to come in and kill Jason so they can survive and get away. Yeah, not too much to this one, but it was decent, but just mostly like not terrible. So that's why it's this high. Number 3 is part 4. This is called The Final Chapter. Super not the final chapter, right? Made like 8 more movies after this one. This is the start of the Tommy arc, and played by Corey Feldman in this one. So this is, once again, teens going to the lake, Crystal Lake, good slasher, bunch of kills, but it's with Corey Feldman back in the day, the 80s, height of Corey Feldman, killing it in movies back then. So that, and just a decent kind of story overall. So that's kind of why it's so high on this list, I would say. But at the end, Tommy is traumatized by the events of what happened, which sets up the next movie, which is also on my list. Number 2, part 5. It's called A New Beginning. This one got some hate. I think it's polarizing. Some people like it. Some people hate this one. The main reason I think people hate it is it's not Jason. It's the first and only one, I think, in the franchise where Jason's not in it, and he's not the killer. It's someone impersonating him, and you think it's Jason, but it's just some dude that's in the movie. But this one I've seen like a million times. This was one of the ones where every Friday the 13th, for whatever reason, I just happened to catch this one on TV when I was a kid growing up. It's these group of people who go to like a rehab trauma halfway house kind of thing that they all live together. Tommy's a little bit older. He befriends this kid Reggie, who survives at the end with maybe the lady who runs the house or whatever. There's some solid kills in this one. Reggie's brother in the outhouse, super memorable kill where he's getting shanked through the porta potty outhouse thing. The part where a guy gets a belt tied around his face on a tree and gets tightened and just crushes his eyes and his head. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I despite the fact Jason's not even in this one, I always liked this one. It was a decent one for me. And number one, my favorite one, the best one in my opinion, the one I'm going to watch this Friday, and as you're watching this video, the one I did watch yesterday, is part 7, called The New Blood. This one is the one I probably saw the most. I just felt like this was always on when I was watching the marathons back in the day on TV, and it is legit. Finally, a character that can fight against Jason and jack him up. This is a girl named Tina who has these like telekinetic powers. Her dad was passed away, so she tries to like raise or like bring her dad back to life, and somehow it brings Jason back to life. He's chained underwater from part 6, so that's how he comes back to life in this one. But yeah, like a bunch of random stuff happens, and then ultimately the end of the movie, the best part, the last like quarter of the movie, she's at Crystal Lake and just is like fighting Jason in like there's a bunch of different moments of her using her telekinetic powers and just jacking him up, like electrocuting him where he's standing in a puddle, bringing down like a building, like roof on top of him, and then ultimately at the end gets him down to the dock by the lake and like is successful in raising her dad from the dead, I guess, but he's somehow in the lake. I don't remember exactly what the deal was, but he like jumps out of the lake and grabs Jason and brings him down, and that's how they defeat Jason in that one. But it's just a fun one where they're just embracing the supernatural element that they've gotten to in this franchise, where it's like, well, he keeps coming back to life. It's kind of ridiculous at this point. Why not just also have a character who has telekinetic powers and can just battle this dude and have some fun moments in there. There's also a pretty fun, iconic kill in this one with the sleeping bag, where he picks up the girl in the sleeping bag, just bangs it against the tree to kill her, which I'm pretty sure is also done in this movie Nobody Sleeps in the Woods Tonight, which is an awesome movie. Check that out if you haven't seen that. Good horror movie. And they do essentially that same thing, so it's kind of an homage to that kill probably. But yeah, I just enjoyed the going ham and jacking up Jason with the telekinesis. It's a fun
movie and my favorite in the franchise, I would say. So that's it for my ranking of the Friday the 13th movies. Just a quick ranking of those top 10 movies in the franchise, excluding the remake and Freddy vs. Jason. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think, what your ranking is, if you agree with my ranking, if you think I'm way off base and you would rank a different one higher than I did, and just let me know what you thought in general. Stay tuned. Until next time.